Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an incredibly cool theme team in the Great League, the Triple Clam theme team. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. The Triple Clam theme team features XL level 51 CLAMPERL, Shadow Cloister, and Tapu Fini. This is definitely not a team I'd recommend for climbing, but this trainer is able to pull out some crazy wins. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out the Triple Clam theme team in action in the Great League. Tough lead in the first match, Shadow Cloister into Galarian Stunfisk, safe switch into XL CLAMPERL, and the opponent responds with Venusaur. Venusaur firing off the Frenzy Plant, immediate shield from CLAMPERL, and CLAMPERL is going straight for the Ice Beam. Do they respect the damage? They do not, and down goes Venusaur. In the back, the opponent has Pelipper, but CLAMPERL is not done. Able to reach a Body Slam. Body Slam gets a shield from the Pelipper. Pelipper looks to be trying to commit to the farm down, but CLAMPERL able to reach one final Body Slam, and that will get the final shield from the Pelipper. Pelipper leaves with a massive amount of energy, and in comes Shadow Cloister. At this point, you can kind of just use Shadow Cloister as a damage sponge. They go for the Weather Ball bait. This could be the Hurricane though, and deciding to preserve the Cloister. Commits the shield. They bring back in the Stunfisk. Stunfisk is going to be able to reach a Rock Slide. The question is, can Cloister hang on here? Cloister cannot. And now it's all up to Tapu Fini. But Tapu Fini should be in a pretty decent spot here. Tapu Fini able to hit for super effective damage with the Water Gun and with the Surf. Surf takes down the Galarian Stunfisk, and back in comes the Pelipper. Pelipper trying to reach the Hurricane, but they're not going to get there. Surf takes out the Pelipper, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Shadow Cloister into Nidoqueen. And the Nidoqueen is staying in, which means they very well could be weak to Cloister somewhere in the back as well. Cloister is pretty frail, shields up the Poison Fang, and the opponent is going to save switch into Trevenant. Seeing grass types of any kind is pretty tricky for this team. Cloister is able to hit for super effective damage with the Ice Shards, but is taking super effective damage in return from the Seed Bombs. Cloister able to reach an Icy Wind. At the very least, will be able to debuff the Trevenant, and the Icy Wind goes unshielded. Oh my goodness, that is incredible. The grass type is out of the way, looking to save switch into CLAMPERL, and the opponent brings in Obstagoon. Obstagoon, unfortunately not the greatest matchup for CLAMPERL. Night Slash is going to do quite a lot of damage. CLAMPERL farming up, barely able to outpace and reach the Ice Beam. Ice Beam will do some solid chip damage. Obstagoon commits the shield, going for the farm down, but they get nervous of CLAMPERL's energy and they fire off a move. Opponent definitely not familiar with CLAMPERL counts. In comes Tapu Fini, and the opponent responds with Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is able to reach a Poison Fang, and this is bad news. That's going to get the Fini very low. Obstagoon close to a move. Switch and the catch onto the Cloister. A beautiful play. It's all up to Tapu Fini here. Obstagoon gets the boost. Tapu Fini able to reach the Moonblast, and that will be game over. Moonblast takes down the Obstagoon, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Shadow Cloister into Shadow Victory Bell, and this is when theme teams go disastrously wrong, as the entire team takes super effective damage from Shadow Razor Leaf. Victory Bell is going to fire off a Leaf Blade onto the CLAMPERL. CLAMPERL is going to look to try and farm down here. CLAMPERL not able to farm down, and now it's all up to Tapu Fini. They bring in Bastiodon, so odds are they probably have a Medicham lurking in the back. But down a shield, I'm not sure Tapu Fini is going to be able to pull this off. Able to land the Surf, that's big. Bastiodon is going to fire off the Stone Edge. Tapu Fini is going to be letting this go, but unfortunately the Stone Edge just gets it too low. Bastiodon able to smack down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Shadow Cloister into another Nidoqueen. Much like last time, this Nidoqueen is choosing to stay in, which means they could potentially be weak to Cloister in the back. Cloister shields up the Poison Fang and is going to fire back with the Icy Wind. Icy Wind would hit for massive damage. They do get the shield. Cloyster farms up, brings in CLAMPERL, and Nidoqueen is going to be firing off the Poison Fang. CLAMPERL will be able to tank that, no problem. Nidoqueen is saved on very low HP, and the opponent is going to bring in Shadow Swampert. CLAMPERL firing off the Body Slam. Body Slam gets the shield from Swampert. Swampert continues to farm up. CLAMPERL able to win CMP over Swampert. Body Slam gets the Swampert low, and it's a CMP tie. That is absolutely incredible. At this point, you could just bring in Tapu Fini. The Swampert just threw a blind Hydro Cannon here. Hydro Cannon, that's perfectly fine. Will be able to farm down. It all depends what they have in the bag. And it's Galarian Stunfisk. So things looking incredibly good for Tapu Fini to close out this game. All you have to watch for is a potential catch. Actually decides to bring in the Cloyster. Cloyster farms down the Nidoqueen and reaches the Avalanche versus the Stunfisk. Avalanche takes down the Stunfisk. And that is a good game. Off a lead in the next match, Shadow Cloyster into Scrafty. Going to need to immediately save switch into CLAMPERL and hope they switch out. Scrafty farms up and brings in Altaria. You already know what time it is. CLAMPERL going for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam one-shots the Altaria. And just like that, CLAMPERL wins switch advantage. In comes Scrafty. Scrafty does not want to get hit with a charge move. They're going to fire off a power-up punch. Power-up punch gets CLAMPERL low, and CLAMPERL falls just short of reaching the Body Slam. But the nice thing is that even though the Scrafty is boosted, Scrafty is aligned against Tapu Fini, which is going to be resisting its standard moveset. They fire off the Foul Play. That does do a sizable amount of damage. Tapu Fini fires off the Surf. That gets Scrafty low. Scrafty able to reach one final move. Tapu Fini is going to shield up the Foul Play. In the back, they have Registeel, and unfortunately, this is not looking good because Registeel has access to super effective Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon able to land. Cloyster is going to fire off the Icy Wind, trying to debuff the Registeel as much as possible. Registeel does commit the shield from the Cloyster. Cloyster able to reach Icy Wind number 2. The question is, are the debuffs going to be enough to allow Cloyster to live a Zap Cannon? Moment of truth. Zap Cannon still takes down the Cloyster, and unfortunately that will be game over. This Surf will grab the shield from the Registeel, but Registeel is going to be able to outpace here. Registeel reaches the Zap Cannon, and that will be game over. CLAMPERL did an incredible job flipping switch, but Registeel in the back was a bit too much. The tough leads continue in the next match, Shadow Cloyster into Trevenant. Opponent is going to save switch into a Shadow Fire Fang Arcanine. You absolutely love to see the spice. I believe this is enough for the Wild Charge. Arcanine full sends the Wild Charge. CLAMPERL shields up and farms all the way down. The nice thing is, CLAMPERL does have the Ice Beam to threaten Trevenant, but CLAMPERL is going for a bait. This is risky, but able to grab a shield. That's huge. Trevenant, lulled into a false sense of security, looks to overfarm. CLAMPERL, Ice Beam, one-shots the Trevenant, and it's a Azumarill in the back. CLAMPERL fires off the Body Slam. This is going to be doing some solid chip damage onto the Azu. Azu lets it go, and in comes the Shadow Cloyster. Shadow Cloyster is going to be committing the shield on the Play Rough and going to be firing off the Avalanche. Avalanche is resisted, but it's going to be doing some okay chip damage and actually able to grab the final shield from the Azumarill. Azu is going to be firing off a Play Rough. Play Rough will take down the Cloyster, but now in comes Tapu Fini. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, sending Shadow Cloyster into Swampert. Immediate save switch into CLAMPERL to check and see if the opponent has any grass types. Swampert is staying in, so hopefully that means they do not have any grass types. Body Slam, able to land. This Swampert does have a ton of energy. CLAMPERL calls the bait, and it's just the Hydro Cannon. What a read. Opponent is going to bring in Scrafty, and Scrafty will look to farm down. CLAMPERL is going to reach one final Body Slam. Scrafty tanks it, and you can't bring in Cloyster here, so they're going to need to bring in Tapu Fini. We've seen this before. Tapu Fini does have a very nice matchup against Scrafty. Scrafty is going to be firing off a move. They go for the Foul Play. Tapu Fini able to tank it, and the opponent concedes the match. They must have been weak to Tapu Fini. Hopping into the next match, leading Shadow Cloyster into Shadow Skarmory. The Battle of Shadows. Cloyster is going to be able to win the CMP tie as it fires off the Icy Wind. Icy Wind, able to land. Skarmory lets it go. Cloyster is going to commit the shield, and then my guess is probably try and commit to the farm down here. Cloyster going for the farm down, able to leave with a move loaded, which is quite nice. Opponent brings in Electrode, and this is quite bad. Avalanche, massive damage, and the water gun snipe with CLAMPERL. Oh my goodness. In the back, the opponent has a Lowland Sandslash. They're running a triple Shadow team, but this triple Shadow team now knows the meaning of fear thanks to Shadow Cloyster. These water guns are definitely adding up on the Sandslash. Sandslash does not want to take a move, and they're going to fire off a last-second Ice Punch. Ice Punch will KO, and they decide to bring in the Cloyster, maybe to give the opponent a little bit of hope that they're weak to Sandslash in the back, but that is just not the case. Tapu Fini absolutely destroys Sandslash, and is going to be able to fully farm down here. Sandslash fires off yet another Ice Punch, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, leading Shadow Cloyster into Charizard. Honestly, the entire team has a ton of play against Charizard. Opponent is going to save switch into Venusaur, and this is absolutely perfect. Cloyster has an energy lead, going to be able to get that early debuff off to minimize the Vine Whip damage. Venusaur is going to be firing off the Frenzy Plant. Cloyster will commit the shield and should be able to outpace here. Cloyster farming up, going for the farm down, but Venusaur able to live on very low HP. Cloyster will commit the final shield. Cloyster leaves with a ton of energy loaded, and they have Unova Stunfisk in the back. Avalanche gets the shield and an immediate save switch into the CLAMPERL. CLAMPERL is going to take super effective damage from the discharge. Discharge able to land, massive damage. CLAMPERL farming up, it's not going to get there, so it's going to fire off the Body Slam. This will do some chip damage. Opponent is going to bring back in the Charizard. Charizard is going to fire off a move. That's going to take down the CLAMPERL, and now it's all up to Tapu Fini. In comes Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to look to commit to the farm down here, because so long as Tapu Fini can leave with a move, Surf should be able to take down that Unova Stunfisk. Back in comes Unova Stunfisk, and able to reach the Surf. Surf takes down the U-Fisk, and clutches the win. All in all, some incredibly fun battles featuring the triple CLAM theme team and XL CLAMPERL. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen anyone else have an XL CLAMPERL, so to be able to build it and put it to some solid use in the Great League is pretty cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.